What's up, folks? Retro Gaming Tube 85 here, and welcome to my new channel. You might know me as Sean Long from the Nintendo Enthusiast YouTube channel, but on this channel, I can talk more about stuff I want to talk about whenever I want to talk about it. Any game, any system, and you know I love the retro ones. So, we're gonna have some fun on this channel. I'm planning on doing some really big stuff, including the only retro gaming news show on YouTube. It's gonna talk about upcoming projects for retro systems, including games like Justice Beaver, which is coming out on the SNES, and new hardware that's coming out in the retro scene. But for this first video, we're gonna do something a little more cliche, kind of to get people into the channel. I'm gonna talk about 5 franchises ruined by modern reboots. It's gonna be cool stuff. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and let me know what you think of the picks.
Bionic Commando was one of the finest games from Capcom on the NES, and that's saying a lot. Using fun platforming that was made unique by having a bionic arm which replaced a jump, you could grab and swing in an action game unlike anything else seen at the time. Couple that with classic Capcom 8-bit graphics and infectious tunes, Bionic Commando is one of the finest games on the NES. The Xbox 360 got a rebooted Bionic Commando, and it was pretty shitty. The game looked fine for the time frame, but the gameplay was more focused on shooting than platforming. You had a storyline that was just fucking atrocious as well. Spoiler alert, your bionic arm is actually your wife. Your wife. I guess it makes masturbating interesting at least. The game had technical issues and invisible walls all over the place, and it just didn't live up to the standards set by the NES original. Rocket Knight Adventures pushed the Sega Genesis by providing an amazing color palette based on its system with a limited one. Enemies were bright and varied, the game used some awesome parallax scrolling, and it's generally considered as one of the best looking and sounding games on the Sega Genesis. Add in the fact that the gameplay and swordplay is fast and fun, and Rocket Knight Adventures is a classic gem of the Genesis library. So how could Konami fuck up that with a reboot? Oh, Konami fucked it up real nice. Why in the hell did we remove the tree limbs as the way to use your tail to explore areas, and just put in some random bars? How was that a good idea? And you know what, while we're at it, let's get rid of the bright and colorful graphics, the fast gameplay, and let's add in a fucking gun. Kids love guns. The game wasn't terrible, but considering the pedigree of the original, it was just an abortion of wasted opportunity. Final Fight is one of the most pure 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up series ever. It's no nonsense, it grabs you by the balls and says, hey, let's go out there and kick some ass. There's no stupidity, there's no bullshit, you just scroll from left to right, dominating everyone in your path with crisp graphics, rockin' tunes, and tight gameplay. You know what, let's take everything fun about the Final Fight series, turn it into a shitty 3D game, throw in some hookers, use like 6 colors for the entire game, and just make it an idiotic experience on the original Xbox just because we can. Not only was it an insult to Final Fight, but it is one of the worst games on the original Xbox. During the 1980s, the war on drugs was really coming into its own, so Williams, who was then acquired by Midway, created a game called Gnarrk. Gnarrk was anti-drug as hell. You played as a dude named Max Force or Hitman, and you literally just blow away drug dealers, junkies, and crime kingpins for the entire game. It was unapologetic, it was ruthless, politically incorrect, but that's the reason I loved it.
Get it. How are they moving it? Liquid soul, where's the source?
Midway then decided to reboot it, and guess what? It sucked ass! Everything in the game is dark and gloomy. While technically you're still a cop, one of the main draws of the game is to take drugs. Seriously, you're supposed to take drugs and see what they do, and they can actually enhance your officer. I'm not here to lecture drug usage or anything like that because, you know, it's your life, but this is just fucking stupid. Take a bunch of drugs, kill random people. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I will say that the soundtrack to the game is decent, with tunes from Curtis Mayfield and Cypress Hill, but it's the complete opposite of the original game, which just makes it an atrocity.
The lure of the street can threaten the detective's badge.
Ah, Bomberman. What an awesome game and an awesome series. Bomberman had a cute exterior, but the dude was pretty much a terrorist, running around trying to bomb other people. The game was simple, easy to get into, but highly addictive. The NES version of Bomberman 2 even supported 4 players with the NES Ford score, and Hudson Soft had a timeless classic franchise on their hands. Until they decided to piss in the face of the Hudson Soft beat with a gritty reboot, Bomberman Act Zero for the 360. Let's do a quick checklist, shall we? Dark graphics, check. Stupid robot character, check. No save feature, check. Stupid new metal soundtrack, oh that's a big check. During the era when everything had to be gritty and realistic, Bomberman Act Zero is one of the biggest casualties of this era. There was nothing wrong with Bomberman, so why fuck him up with grittiness?
And those are my 5 picks for games ruined by modern reboots. Yeah, I could have picked games like Sonic 06 as well, but Sonic Adventure kind of had some problems with it too that people just kind of overlooked that shows the downslide of the Sonic franchise. I hope you guys like this video because I don't really know how this is going to go. I'm starting out with a new subscriber base and pretty much nothing to my name. So if you liked the video, be sure to give it a like, leave a comment below, let me know some games that you think, fit this bill, and be sure to subscribe, of course, because that's really going to gauge how often I can do this stuff. Alright, I'll see you guys around for sure. Be on the lookout for new content and make sure you subscribe. Later.